just a heart for you guys. Anyway, welcome back, Elite Series fans and viewers and stuff. We are here in the second division League of Legends, of course, with me, Fresh Tana, and with the wonderful, the beautiful, the best color caster probably in any dimension. It's QG.
Yeah, it's me. Hello, I'm back again.
What was that like? Like just a hole or what?
Yeah. Do you know the game?
Yeah,
where
you look in the hole and now I can
don't look in the hole. But the camera angle was so off. I was like, where is it? You can't do it under the shoulder. But yeah.
Usually, sometimes I think we both are really awkward. But it's fine.
I'm an educator. I work with kids that are 10 to 12 years old, so I have to do this.
It's kind of like what Daniel wants to do, right? Didn't he study something like that?
Yeah, we were in the same class.
No.
I know him from that because he in his first year we were in the same class at the educator school here in Luxembourg, and since then we know each other. I think it's now 6 years. 5 years.
That's amazing.
I think 5 years.
And I just know you for maybe 1 year or something. Because probably we saw each other at like post esport events, right?
Yeah, you were a fan of us back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you hyped us up, and you were our own. We had one fanboy, and if Reliant goes down, you are still the one fanboy for that time at the PM.
Yeah,
we went down pretty hard.
So probably I know you for 2 years or something now. It was a real pleasure to for every single second of my life. It was a pleasure. Anyway, we have Aurora against Once Upon a Team coming in a couple of seconds, minutes, whatever. What is your prediction? Just straight away, who will win it? Just from your point of view, if you don't see anything else.
If I don't see
standings, draft,
if I don't see
okay. Just predict now. That's better.
I would take my money on Aurora just because.
Yeah, I think putting money on Aurora in versus Once Upon a Team. I mean, putting money on Once Upon a Team is really a dangerous decision.
No, not because of the meme that they won their first game for 2023, but just the Aurora was in the middle pack of the last standings. And I think that is a good point to do, and they have a completely new roster. And also, if I just look at the rosters, the last 2 games, they were still ahead in the early game, but the mid-game transition they failed. And Once Upon a Team, they have problems to actually get ahead so much that they can throw. You know the Scara line where he said they were ahead until they weren't?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is Aurora just in a nutshell. These last 2 games. They were ahead until they weren't. And that's the thing that you have to take care of. Well, everybody is ahead until they aren't, but what I mean is that the games are thrown, or the fights are a bit scrappy, and then they lose stuff, and that's unfortunate for the Aurora, because in the Rift Sloss we saw that, and it was just sad. I think that you could take a game out of the sloths, but yeah.
Yeah, Pertinix almost did it at the first match day. That was quite unbelievable.
I heard it was a 50 minutes game, right? Yeah. So somehow they are not unbeatable.
Yeah, and like I quite remember the Dynasty against Aurora match with Frankie on Nico against the LeBlanc of Silax. And that was quite close as well. So it was the first win of Dynasty, and it was like the first loss of Aurora. And since then, Dynasty won their game, so not versus Rift. And since then, Aurora lost their game. So maybe that was the turning point in the standings. Who knows? But there it is. There it is. It's Once Upon a Team on the red side against Aurora on the blue side. And of course, we will have some classic bans coming out, like the LeBlanc of Sylax, of course. There could even some intention going to the Cassante, especially after this Olaf ban. Olaf Cassante is usually a good matchup for the Cassante, and both of those top liner plays it, so we might see the first pick Cassante for Gilgamesh. Let's see. Nico, of course, going off the table. There's even Emilio. So maybe Seri or Yumi, but I don't think so. But actually, there's Yumi. And I do not believe that we see that, but we see it. And now the big question becomes, why also, and now Cassante first pick. I predicted.
It's Maokai first pick.
Sad.
It's the tree. It was close. It was close. Decay was in Maokai, so you got that right.
Yeah,
and the A2.
Yeah, kind of close.
Yeah, and there I think the Once Upon a Team is now going for the Zero Lulu matchup.
Yeah.
Good.
Kind of risky to just blind pick it. I would maybe secure a jungler now, just to maybe snack out a good support matchup, but they still go for the Lulu.
Yeah, but is the support matchup superior to the support AD carry comp? I'm not sure. I don't think that the support matchup is that that important to get the comp ahead, because Zeri isn't changed on this patch, right? It's the next patch where in
no,
12,
she is.
So the health, the shield is nerfed. She doesn't get movement speed when she's right.
Probably, I don't know, but I think so. Anyway, there's Blitzcrank against Sarah Lulu. Definitely is a good pick against Lulu. And Chase and Sylax. It's probably his most played champion, if I remember correctly. So that's definitely a Chase mid lane, or could be a Chase top lane if they decide to swap it to Gilgamesh. And basically now Cassante. Why did you ban Olaf if you don't want to play Cassante? And now we might see a Cassante ban, or just Cassante on pick number 4 on red side, because I don't believe that you want to slip him through this champ select, in my opinion.
Yeah, but you are going to be. It depends on what Once Upon a Team is banning. Are they concentrating on AD carries? It just looks like that, or are they going top laners to secure a good counter matchup? And Aurora is going to ban these top laners that they think can be counterplay to the Cassante, like the Gwen.
Yeah, but hear me out. If Once Upon a Team just picks Cassante now, and I mean Aurora banned out the most common counter, they banned out probably the second most common counter, and if Aurora just bans out like another good matchup, then Once Upon a Team will just say, we get him, it's fine. So, and if Once Upon a Team does not take him now, then Aurora is probably happy because there are no counter picks left, right?
Just think it in your head like this. It will be a bait that Once Upon a Team picks up Cassante, and they just have a pocket pick counter matchup against Cassante. Maybe they send Jace top to just keep him out of the lane. Probably not, but just think about it. And what if they bait your bait?
Yeah.
And you take the bait, but you didn't take the bait. You take the Ezreal.
Yep, Mastur goes for the Ezreal. So we saw Ezreal on Mara, if I believe correct, like last game. So we saw it already, and it could be the debate with the Kaiser in the mid lane. It could be the Jace top lane with Kaiser mid lane, and now we see another ADC, or it's just Kaiser Blitzcrank bot lane. Who knows? But that would be funny. Ezreal against Kaiser in the mid lane. That's something I don't want to see actually, but it could happen.
That would be a boring lane.
I mean, you want just to counter the static with the static, right? So you don't want
that's the only thing mid laners do these days.
Yeah. But no, they actually don't. They place Kaiser bot lane, now the one on the top lane. Actually, funny thing, Gilgamesh on his solo queue account is called AURORA on Malphite, and now he plays on. Because he essentially
What?
now is...
That's
Dude,
Rek'Sai.
That's Rek'Sai top lane, by the way. It's Rek'Sai top lane for Optimalus. And that's something prepared. Yeah, it's basically... I mean, I have a Primic team, you heard of it, and we scrimmed today against Yorman gang, by the way. And actually, our mid laner calls out the Rek'Sai every single game. He just says, Bennett, it's so broken. Bennett, it's so broken. Or play it, top lane, play it, it's so broken. Nobody plays it, nobody bans it, but my mid laner just gets like ASMR or something if he sees Rek'Sai. He just hates this champion. And essentially now Octumatus says that let's play it, and it's against a tank. My top laner got crushed on Cassante against Rek'Sai. So I think a tank matchup like Ornn is so wonderful for the Rek'Sai. We will see beautiful stuff coming out.
But the only thing they changed was the heal on the passive and the cooldown of the Q.
Yeah,
there was no damage change.
It's enough. Sometimes.
Yeah, well, she almost always has the Q. Yeah, because it's on 2-second cooldown timer. But if you use it, it's less, and if you don't use it, it's more. And they also changed that you can see, like the pings that you get from hearing enemies is back on 1 second, but that's not that useful as a top laner. And I also think the vision from the burrowed Q is also buffed, like a bit more. But I think it really depends on the Q damage here. And you also go Stride Breaker these days, right? So you can build a more bruiser with the heal. And you just can unborrow Stride Breaker and get some more AoE damage out. So yeah, and against the tanks she has the true damage from the E. With the Conqueror it's going to be stronger, at least 100 true damage at level 1. You have the execute damage and follow up from the ultimate. It's also missing health damage. I see the point in taking her, also at this point with that combination with the Sejuani. And you can also peel pretty good, but the Sejuani auto attack reset is a threat if they come top, but we know top lane is a beach and we don't go there.
Not with Rek'Sai. They will probably gank sometimes top lane, because bot lane is scaling, mid lane is scaling. Actually Rek'Sai is the only lane to play around. But let's see. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once upon a team against AURORA. It's the last match day of this Friday evening, with both teams want winningly to won. They both want to win this game. That's what I want to say. Anyway, once upon a team maybe getting their second game of all time, or maybe AURORA just getting back to the leaderboard, getting back to the higher spots on the list. We need to see whoever wins it. Anyway, there's a little invade coming with the Blitzcrank, but nothing really happens. Nobody has a sweeper to check this little ward there. So in the end, nothing really happens. And now they just will reset all and just play a normal game. And something we see coming out from Mastro, Mastu, is that he does not start a longsword. He starts tier, and he does not play with a fleet footwork, but he plays with first strike. So maybe it's not a static Ezreal, or maybe he just makes a different approach with the static Ezreal. I mean, that's really interesting.
Yeah, before me here couldn't stack the tier fully, so he's probably going to buy it first, and then it gives also a bit of wave clear with the mana consumption. You get like 5 damage on creeps, but it could be there's a pause.
There's a pause.
But yeah, it could be that the the build is a bit different, delaying the delaying. Well, you delay it by how much? 350 gold? Or it is 450? Yeah, you delay it by 450 gold, and I think the 1 gold that is back into the mid lane, so it doesn't really. Does it matter that much? 450 gold to earlier to get a stag item. We'll see how he will do. They have wave clear with the Zeri later with the Runans, so I wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, but I mean, it's some wave clear, but it's not like the really best wave clear like a C-wave would do. Normally, mid laners carry more wave clear than bot laners, but let's see what the Sari can do, and it's really interesting to see a Sari anyway. But I'm really hyped to see Octomalus actually on his Rek'Sai, because that's something I did not see on this patch yet, and I'm just heard a lot about Rek'Sai, so we might see some really cool stuff, or maybe not. Who knows? Because especially like the tunnels are not that useful, but they are useful to engage, so she will probably skill them anyway. But can't really make those, can't really do too much with it. So let's see what she can do. And especially I'm really hyped to see Solax on his Chase, because it's his most played champion. So he is on a comfort pick as well. Top lane is also on a comfort pick. So there is something to say about Aurora as well in this game. And maybe one of the more important picks also is this Ezreal, but now there's a little engage against Gilgamesh, and there comes Sejuani, and with it the passive, so they might get the stun to Gilgamesh. He can maybe flash over the wall and gets it, so he will survive. In the meantime, mid lane there could be a gank. There's no W, no E, but there's a flash, so they just trade flash for flash. On top lane, Gilgamesh just flashed for nothing.
Yeah, and Grammy got Master Flash. It's also a bit of less of a more of a threat. What is the camera doing again? These pokes. But yeah, and then you see a big wave from Octomalus into the tower. Bot lane is going back. And there is now really good kill fresh. Also the sustain is pretty good actually if you poke a bit.
Yeah.
Damn, I just remember the old ultimate from Rek'Sai. We can just teleport to tunnels.
The traveling through the whole world with the ultimate, that was funny. But I'm kinda don't want it anymore, because that was a meta where I think it was Rek'Sai Elise every single game. Rek'Sai Elise Lee Sin or something. We saw it like Worlds 2015 or something, and it was the most boring jungle meta of all time, I guess. Just every single game Elise Rek'Sai.
Yeah, she still had a passive on the ultimate. What was that? Was that attack speed?
I don't know actually. But there could be, no, but they don't go for it. Because if he does not really connect the hook, then he just gets instantly run down. And even if he connects the hook, there could be the polymorph instantly. So it's a difficult thing, especially because Smoothie can always dash, so he might not even get hooked. So they might need to go for OFO. And that's, if he plays safe, that's maybe hard to do. Anyway, but it's a really slow-paced game right now. All the other games so far had been a little bit more. Oh, the knock-up to interrupt the dash. That was really neat. And now Rek'Sai has even level 6, so she can just go for the solo bolo. Maybe that's the solo bolo. What a play by Octomalus, just going out of the air, out of the floor to knock up while Gilgamesh was dashing. That was just insane.
Yeah, you also need a bit of prediction to get that, because you have the animation to go borrowed and then unborrowed, and then hitting the level 6, killing the Ornn with the ultimate. And Ornn is just going for the Warden's Mail to reduce the auto attack damage. And with the pickaxe pickup, his Ornn will not have fun for at least 200 gold more.
Yeah, that's
and
really, really bad.
It's still static shift.
Yeah, that's true. But without like without the fleet, I mean, there were like 3 melee champions, and even Chase is a melee champion, so 4 melee champions and you don't play fleet footwork. That's kind of ballsy. But
Yeah,
we just decided for that.
Yeah, probably the first strike to go for the tier and then still get gold out of it to don't fall that far behind because you bought it later. That is probably the plan. Because I think late game the rune doesn't play that much of a thing. Because you can just dash out anyway with the E flash. Probably doesn't need the fleet footwork to get the extra small movement speed there.
No, it comes in handy. The healing, the movement speed. It's not the worst in late game, especially against those melee champions. Just getting some more time to land more Qs, to land another E, for example. So.
Yeah, but you also get against these melee champs against the resistance.
Sass is a little bit too far forward. He needs to flash out, but just gets stunned, and in the end, it's just a kill for Sejuani. So another good catch there by Once Upon a Team.
I mean, if you get the true damage out, it's worth it for the true strike, and also with the gold you get.
No, Aurora wants to fight it. Can they get Octomalus there on the sideline? No, but there's just a kill on Maokai, so another one for Once Upon a Team. And Octomalus even tries to go for something. Oh, there comes the Kaiser play, at least one, but now she gets just rooted down and being killed. Oh, that's a good hook. They could go for Neiko. There's the knock-up, there's the chase burst, but you have not enough damage yet. Chase Q is not landing. Sass tries to go for the next knock-up, for the next, maybe the next hook, but he has no cooldowns left, so Deluxe is not landing something. Oh, there comes the flash over the hole. Okay. Can he find the hook? Oh, you can't.
Yeah, and Lulu's probably dying here because UFO is probably going to get ganked right there. No, there's no kill threat. They just take a plating and just move, get the 5 gold from the true strike, and just leave her alone.
Kal almost stacked up. By Smoothie started with it, so just 25 more minions, and he can just scale against the Ornn. I think that was a kinda good rotation by Aurora, but in the end it was just too much damage from Once Upon a Team. There were just 2 split. Once Upon a Team was really grouped at the Herald, so in the end they just lost the team fight 1 by 1. And with that, they have already 2k lead after 10 minutes, but they are a dragon behind, but the Herald ahead, so that's something for Once Upon a Team, and it looks really good for them to maybe secure their second win.
Yeah, and there is the static shift picked up for Mastu. He at the 9th minute he picked it up, so it was not that far delayed actually. I think he got the gold, a bit of the gold back from the true strike.
Oh, good hook onto the Lulu. Can they kill it is the question. Really good ultimate there by Blitzcrank just to deleting those shields, but in the end it was not enough damage by Kaiser. And with that they might lose 1 or 2 platings now, but they come away with their life, and Kremi was there just to secure those platings.
Yeah, that brings Aurora a bit back into the game. And Octomalus, who is free farming on top lane. Creamy is covering bot sides. The Rift Herald's also going to run out, so Once Upon a Team probably is going to push the bot lane now, and everybody of Aurora on bot side is gone. So we just push it out, get free turret platings for the Zeri.
Yeah, the platings now for the bot lane for Smoothie, and that's really important. Because he is one of your win conditions, at least. But basically you have 3 win conditions, so there comes a teleport from the damage, they want to fight it, call it the vodka, oh he missed it! But in the end, I mean, there comes the root from, they really hard force it right now, they want to kill them, Neeko throws the glacial prism, and in the end, they kinda get out, but a lot of usage of so many ults just to secure this second Drake. I mean, that's kinda worth. They use a lot of things top. Oh, they want to fight it. Neeko, there comes Rek'Sai. Can they win a team fight here or can't they not? Oh, Rek'Sai is really huge. Rek'Sai can ult. Rek'Sai gets a lot of damage in, and there's Smoothie. Smoothie can just kite and can just damage like a madman. They get 2, they get 3, they get 4, and that's just a winning team fight by Once Upon a Team. It's just a clean ace. They just traded Neeko for it. They lost the Drake, but they won a team fight, and that's really, really insane.
Was it worth it, Trashtana? I don't think so. The AD carries just got 5 kills each. No, not 5 kills. 3 kills and 2 kills. And this is... ouch for Aurora. And Smoothie is so strong. He probably has Triforce right now. And going to buy the Runan's Hurricane after, then into the Titanic Hydra.
Yeah.
And yeah,
looks really
this
good.
is hard. And the Cull is there too, so probably sell the Cull. No. Still take the Cull.
Yeah. And now the big question is, what can Once Upon a Team do with that ginormous lead? It's 6k. Teleport to the bot lane just to secure this turret, and yeah, I mean, they have all the cards in the hands to basically snowball out of control. Rek'Sai is huge, Ezreal is huge, Zeri Yumi is huge, and it's not looking good for Aurora, and that could be like just the third lose for them. And I mean, the split started really, really promising. Once Aurora just started with a 3-0 and looked like one of the strongest teams in the league, and now they kind of struggle and lost against 2 good teams, and now if they lose against Once Upon a Team, that would mean something. So Aurora needs to keep up with the pace and kind of get back, and they have a Blitzcrank, so they have some engaged potential, but they need to pinpoint someone, they need to burst someone down, because last time they used all the ultimates just to secure Drake, and after that they had no ultimates left to fight. So they really need to just burst someone with Blitzcrank. They need to burst someone with the CC of their tanks, otherwise they will just lose those team fights. Now they at least got a turret on the bot side, so now 1-for-1 turrets, but they lost the Herald. So with Herald, probably Once Upon a Team will get the whole turret, and with that they can even try to get further ahead in with this lead.
Yeah, and that's good if they get ahead. It's good motivation for Once Upon a Team.
Oh, they tried to steal it, but they don't get it. It was in the end a really good smite there by Neeko. Now they get a good engage. There comes Smoothie, and he gets 1, but maybe it's not fast enough to get more. But still, it was just 1 kill, 1-0.
Yeah, and Smoothie just comes in, gets a kill, and doesn't.
Oh, they tried to go for the hook. They tried to go for the Call of the Forge God, but they all flash it. So in the end, nobody dies. Neeko still survives. And in the meantime, Octimalos is on the bot lane. They get just 2 turrets. Now every single tier 1 turret of Aurora is going down.
And they're 7k ahead, and the bounty system didn't trigger. All these tunnels on the top side.
Yeah, it was funny.
That's not efficient. That's a not efficient tunneling system. When I play Rek'Sai on ARAM, I always do like a line of tunnels to just get back faster.
Yeah.
And that's also a good point to think about if you play Rek'Sai on lane. You just go for the...
Oh, they try to kill Sylax there, but he tries to turn. In the end, there's the flash from Ezreal, so just another kill for Octimalis. And yeah, it looks really good.
And that was just a J-bait.
No auto hook, and it's just a kill on Lulu, so at least something back. And now, with Lulu being dead, they might could go to the Drake and secure Soul Point. I mean, that could work. Deluxe isn't there in time, so it's a 4v4. But, I mean, at least Lulu's missing, right? So it just took someone, burst him, do Drake. That could work.
Yeah, but if Must2 just pokes them out a bit and waits for the Lulu to come, and they are not stunning, they don't think they are fast enough. Well, yeah, it's Kai'Sa AP. It would also burst down the dragon, but they don't want to go for it. It's also a soul that is not that strong. It's the weakest soul out there, so why risk it? Is also a thing, because you are weaker.
Yeah, and now they just pull it out. And with that, probably get it. Sylax is on the sideline, at least getting something in return, some waves, some minions, denying some minions. But it's not the best cross-map play, they will just lose this Drake, and with that, probably all hopes and dreams for the Soul. Because early Dragon stacking, of course, you want to play for Soul, and if you just lose it, it's always kinda tough. And with this AP Kai'Sa build, actually, she can just go for those poke Ws, which is really annoying if you play an ARAM, actually. The AP Kai'Sas are so annoying. But yeah, it's in Summoner Swift, it's different. It's plenty of room to dodge, and usually you don't have the 5v5 to consistently hit someone. Or Graceful Prison does not land, but they still try to connect onto Sylax. He is dead, and there comes the Rek'Sai from that, and he just knocks up and also it's but she wants the wrong target, so in the end Kai'Sa gets the double kill. Whoa, what was that? That was rather unfortunate, so they traded 2 for 2 because Rek'Sai decided to go for the tank.
Yeah, this is was unfortunate from Octamalus here, but as we see, Once Upon a Team are still ahead. They're still taking towers. It's not easy for Aurora here, who are trying to find back into this game and into the division with the 90% of the week gone, and the cats are dancing, but I don't think that Aurora is dancing with the results they have at the moment.
That's 7k after 90 minutes. That's kinda huge. And Once Upon a Team.
Yeah, and it's not like the first game where everything is on Garen. It's on 3 champs, 4 champs actually, the goal, so it's perfectly balanced on everybody. And that's that hurts for Aurora even more, because if you kill one, the other still have more gold than you. And
yeah,
that's hard.
I think we see something interesting, because Mastron actually went for the Manamuna now, and not for the Trinity Force like Mara did. So you see just 2 different approaches on this S3 midline actually, which I kind of like, that people are just built different and build their S3 different. And now like the long dance for the Baron begins. We have minute 20, so they will just try to group, just go for catches, just try to get some vision done, and just send you top laners on the sideline, because both have teleport, but Octimalis doesn't, so he will kinda tries to group. And yeah, it will just we will probably wait a long time until the next Drake spawn to then see something happening, or we will just see a big catch or a big misplay by some of the teams, and then we will have probably a Baron or something. So it could be really explosive if one team tries to force. And I believe that once upon a team, if they just see someone out of position, they can just always throw the glacial prison. And Aurora definitely needs to find the right angle because they are just too far behind at the moment.
Could it be that they are overwhelmed with the Rek'Sai pick and they don't know how they play the Ornn against the Rek'Sai? Because the Rek'Sai has 50 farm more, 4 kills, 6 assists, that's 10 kill participation out of the box. Just like that, and it looks like they are overwhelmed because Octamal is just pushing bot. Now they're answering, they know.
Oh, they try to get to Sylax, but he just teleports out. I mean, that's a teleport. That's a big thing. And now he does not have teleport for Baron. He does not have teleport for the fourth Drake. So that was kinda expensive for Sylax to push out this last wave.
Yeah, it could maybe cost them the Baron right there.
Oh, that could be a big team fight, but Sus does not want to go for something. Oh, there's Duck. This does not land, and now Gigamesh goes space. Oh no, he does not. So there's some split push pressure at least, and Optimalus probably needs to answer it. That's the reason why she goes space, or he goes space. And now the dragon is spawning, and with the pressure on the side lane, they could try to just rush it down. Good poke there on Ulfo, but there comes the teleport from Rek'Sai, and now there will be a big team fight around this dragon.
Oh, and also Heartbreaker for Rek'Sai.
Oh yeah, Heartbreakers.
Team fight.
Good poke coming out from both teams, but the dragon probably goes to once upon a team because you can't really fight it, and no team wants to engage, so it's just a dragon. And now here we have the movement speed buff. They could even try to decide to go for the Baron instantly.
Yeah, and also the roaming, they are better on the roaming department because of the move speed of these two dragons. They are really fast actually, and also
yeah. It's still 50-50.
This is going to be a poke fest here.
Oh, Blitzcrank is out of position and he gets cracked there by the Rek'Sai. There's a knockup, there's a kill onto Ezreal, that's huge. So it's a 4v4, there's a glacial prison, there's a lot of burst coming out from Sylax, but this Rek'Sai is kinda huge and Seri is untouched. So Trey tries to kill the front line, there's Ornn dead, and now they can't even try to turn onto the Baron again because Kremi is kinda low, Nako is kinda low, both junglers still have both smites up. Now Octimalus tries to engage, but gets instantly knocked up, but still gets the kill, and with that kill they can just turn in this fight, gets another 2 kills, and it's just an ace. You have 2 tanks, you have Seri, so you can just burst down this Baron, and with that, another winning team fight by Once Upon a Team.
Yeah, and the Rek'Sai is a menace. You get hit by the Q, killed by the ult, and then just run around and just get the kill. Oh, can Sass kill some? No, was.
He's just annoying. If he would have Ignite, then he could try to go for something, but now he will just die. But there's Ornn, but yeah, one can't do something, they will just dash over it all and are just safe.
Yeah, wow, Once Upon a Team, they are changed. It looks like a completely new, different team. They play around Octamalus with the Rek'Sai here, with the pick that I haven't seen on a lane since ever, and like you said, she is very strong, and it looks like she is going to roll over the other team, or burrow under, you can say. Yeah, it doesn't look good, and she's almost level 16 too, and she will be stronger. There's again a split pushing top laner who is 2 levels ahead of everybody, got a lot of gold, and we see it in the first and in the last game. that's how you can see that there's a gank.
Oh, Glacial Prison could come out if he runs away enough, but there could be the catch on the Rek'Sai,
Shutdown.
and that's just a big cut shutdown there for the Kai'Sa, and Kai'Sa with 3 items is actually strong, so can they defend this Baron is the question. Gilgamesh still has ultimate, Maokai still has ultimate, so they could go for an engage. There comes the roots. The question is, can they still engage with Gilgamesh? Can they find a hook? No, they can't. So in the end, they just lose a turret.
Yeah, and that was a nice try from Grammy to ult here and try to pick someone up, but Neko is so tanky. You can just block the Maokai ult and just take it from where it is. Because his backline is so strong, and there's a Night Harvester, Static Shift, Ezreal. Probably won't buy a Sense Reverse Sheen item. Or is he?
Who knows? No.
No, going full AP.
Yeah, no Sheen. And I believe Sheen is so strong on Ezreal, so especially like Lich Bean with a full AP build. I mean, it's just so much value on every single Q, so kinda a really interesting item build.
These builds tell you that when you have maybe a kill on
Sus. Sus is just a little bit sus.
Yeah.
That he gets killed there.
I think these builds tell you that the one item you build around one item and that the item is too strong. You build around Static Shift. You build the Night Harvester because you can proc it with the Static Shift and auto attacks. And you build the Needlessly Large Rod for the Static Shift damage.
Oh, Glacial Prison onto Sylax, he is dead. Through Shabaraj even. And there comes the engage Call of the Forge God, so they try to fight it, but they don't have damage yet because Kai'Sa can't hit someone. Now it's a front to back team fight. But are they tanky enough to Kai'Sa to hit someone? Neko is dead at least, so it's a 3v4 at the moment, just 2v4. And the big question is, what can Kai'Sa do? She needs to hit some W's, she needs to hit some kind of poke, but there's the flash onto her, and in the end, she will just die against this Rek'Sai pick, and that's the full ace. And now with Rek'Sai, with the rest of the squad, they can probably just finish this game if they had some minions, but they don't need minions. And with that, Once Upon a Team will actually collect their second win of both splits actually, and with that, Aurora gets into big trouble with now 3 losses in a row.
Yeah, and that goes into the mantle of Aurora here. I think it's hard to take three wins into 3 losses. The other way around would be way more motivated, but this is hard. And also, if you get memed on by the Riftslot social media account, it still hits you right into the fields, and it's hard. It's hard. I think now when we come to the second half of the split on next Friday, we will see maybe some changes because they know how the team play, and hopefully we will see some changes. Also, Aurora, who had a good first half, now have a bad half. Maybe they go from 3 games to 3 games, so they will still be ahead. But this is interesting to see what will come to Aurora in this on Wednesday when they play their last game of the first round.
And I would say after this successful Friday afternoon, evening, whatever, we will just take a look at the standings because they are ready to just look at it. And what we can see is wonderful. Of course, Riftslot on the first place, unbeaten so far. They just need one more win against Full Clear to have a perfect first half of the split. Then of course Full Clear, the big surprising team, maybe can go toe-to-toe with Riftslot if they win on next Wednesday, who knows. Then of course Aurora taking a big hit today, just losing the 3rd game in a row. And just with Next, who lost as well today, they just all are on the 3rd place, at least for the first half of this bracket. And then of course 3 teams actually on the 5th place with Dynasty, Pertinax, and Once Upon a Team. Once Upon a Team actually coming back. I mean, just think about it. They just won 2 games and are now toe-to-toe with Pertinax and Dynasty. And if you just think about it, Pertinax and Dynasty last spring split kinda were playoff contenders. Pertinax almost did it. Dynasty was playoffs, so Once Upon a Team definitely clawing back into it. And Norman Gang kinda is on a losing end of this split right now, but won their first match. So that could be the great comeback for them. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe they need to scrim a little bit more against us to win games. Who knows? But
yeah, and there is no team anymore that didn't win a game. We still have to see teams lose one game. And that's also interesting to see. On Wednesday, if Full Clear wins against the Rift Sloths, there's everybody lost at least one game or at least one game, and that's very. I think it's very healthy for a Division 2 to see that everybody can win against everybody, and there's. As we see with Aurora, who went 3-0 and now losing 3 games in a row, it really shows what you can do.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you want to say something? Otherwise, I would.
No, I just wanted to jump. I think into the next thing.
Yeah, genau. Yeah. So there are the Wednesday schedules up for you guys to see. So what would you miss if you would not turn into us? You would miss, of course, maybe the most important game of the first half of the split, Full Clear against Rift Sloths. Next again, German Gang, Once Upon a Team against Dynasty, and Aurora against Pertinax. And especially like the last 2 matches kinda decide who gets back into playoff category and who sticks to the bottom side, because like 3 teams of them are 2 and 4 and one is 3 and 3, so that's definitely a really big deciding match day. And then on Friday, Aurora against German Gang, Dynasty against Full Clear, Pertinax against Rift, the rematch of the 50-minute game, and of course next against Once Upon a Team. And with that, any last words, QG?
See you on Wednesday.
Oh, that's good last words. With that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for choosing Elite Series Division 2 Rift Entertainment broadcast in English with me, Frashana, and QG. Thank you for tuning in, and we see you soon when we are live back on Wednesday. And now, good night, ladies and gentlemen, and on to next time.
Good night. Good luck.